Good morning, good morning. Can you hear me? Good morning. Do we have anyone watching? I can't tell if anyone's watching. I'm loading this on my cell phone to see if you're watching. Good morning. It's a live streaming weekend. Live streaming weekend. And today, we are going to be doing. Oh, fuck. I gotta go get another pen. We are going to be doing today a Nigel Tufnel top 10 superhero movies. I'm really looking forward to this. I want to change the pace up a little bit. I've been wanting to do something about superhero movies for a little while. It's going to be a lot of fun. I'm looking forward to today. But I don't know. I haven't got a list yet. I've got other people's lists. I have one from Harrison Kopp. I have one from John T. Snow. I have one from Sir Robert Daniels. I have one from Holin McGroin. But I haven't made mine yet. That's the trick. That's the trick. Yeah. Working on mine. If anybody's there, can you give me some feedback on how well you can hear me? I'd appreciate that. I'm going to get another pen because this one's dead. I'm going to enjoy my coffee. And I'm just going to sit here on the front porch this morning, making my list and watching a Marvel movie or two and live streaming. Got everything hooked up here. Everything's looking good. I hope it sounds okay. That's what we're hoping. Got special guests lined up today. People you haven't heard from before, actually. This is going to be exciting. I'm excited. That all happens later on this afternoon. But I better go get another pen that works, or there won't be much going on for my list. Good morning, good morning. Is anybody out there? Good morning. I have a pen. I have a notebook. I have everything I need to make my Nigel Tufnel top 10 superhero list. Everything I need. Except the list. Good morning, good morning. Today's the superhero list morning. I'm posting pictures on Instagram. I'm promoting the live stream. Promoting the live stream. Promoting the live stream. Promoting the live stream. Working on my list. Promoting the live stream, working on my list. Okay, so I have some rough ideas of what I want to see on my list. Tough. This is tough. I have such a bias towards Marvel. But we're doing the top superhero movies of all time, not the top MCU movies. So I don't know. I don't know. Struggling. I truly am struggling. The superhero list is going live tonight at approximately 6 p.m. We're going to have a new guest on for that one. Somebody you've never heard from before. It's going to be pretty exciting, I think. But I don't think anybody's awake yet. I don't think anybody's awake yet. I've seen a couple neighbors out and about. I don't think you're awake. Don't think you are awake. No, I do not. You know, I don't want to spoil any of the movie lists that I have seen. There's going to be some expected movies and some unorthodox movies, and yes, well, plenty of Marvel. But some stuff that's out of the box too. You're going to like this list, these lists. I think there's going to be about 5 or 6 in total. John T. Snow sent in a list. Harrison Kopp sent in a list. Holland McGroin sent in a list. Robert Daniels sent in a list. And, you know, who knows more about movies than Robert Daniels? So I'm really, really looking forward to these lists tonight. I feel kind of low energy right now, but things will pick up. Things will pick up. God, it's a beautiful day. I'm just gonna enjoy the day a little bit for a moment as I put my non-existent list on pause. I hope you can hear the birds chirping and stuff like that. Day. I hope it doesn't turn out muggy like it did yesterday. Yesterday was unpleasant and muggy. I don't know if they're calling for more of the same today. I know it's supposed to get hot, but I'm in the shade here, so I'm going to be fine even if it is hot. Live streaming weekend. Live streaming weekend. Where is everybody? Live streaming weekend. This camera's a little crooked. Let's see if I can't straighten it out a bit. Ooh, a spider. Jen won't like that. Yeah, I think that'll work. Just readjust a little bit here. Yeah, that'll work. That'll work. Yes. Just bring it down a tad more. Alright. So hopefully this will be my setup for the day. Just waiting for some feedback as if you guys can hear me or not. You know what? I don't need your feedback. I can watch myself. On my phone. On a delay. There we go. Readjust a little bit here. Yeah. Sounds like you can hear me. Yeah, that'll work. That'll work. Yes. Just bring it down a tad more. Yeah. You can hear me. Nobody's watching, but you can hear me. Alright. So hopefully this will be my setup for the day. Just waiting for some feedback as if you guys can hear me or not. You know what? I don't need your feedback. I can watch myself. On my phone. Well, nobody seems to be watching. But I don't want to cut it just yet. I've only been on for 13 minutes. And it isn't even 7 yet. So I guess the big news insofar as movies go is the death of Ian Holm yesterday. He was in his 80s. I can't remember the exact age, but you know Ian Holm. Judging by the comments that I've seen, best you know Ian Holm as Bilbo Baggins and Ash from Aliens, but you guys have forgotten some of his other roles. Father Vito Cornelius in The Fifth Element was one of my favorite Ian Holm roles. When that movie came out, I've seen Ian Holm in a bunch of movies, but didn't necessarily know who he was. And I brought the movie home to my parents because I thought they would find it interesting to watch. And my mother's like, "Oh, look, it's Ian Holm." And I'm like, I thought that guy was probably famous. Really enjoying my Nespresso machine. Very, very, very much. It's a beautiful day. So we're going to be doing some experiments today. We are going to be doing some interviews, speakerphone, that kind of thing. Hopefully some screen sharing. I don't know for sure. All depends on how this works out in terms of technical details and blah, blah, blah. Wish I could invite people to this stream when I'm streaming from my laptop, but I can't seem to do that unless I am streaming from my phone. Just received an email. Thunder Bay Arena Rock. He's been listening to Kiss Revenge, Thunder Bay Arena Rock, the gentleman known as Deke, Sir Deke from Deketown, otherwise known as Thunder Bay. Well, I've been on for 15 minutes, and nobody's here, so I might just split for now and come back in a little while. I've got my setup here, and I'm going to watch a Marvel movie on Disney Plus with my new speakers. So yeah, hopefully it's a nice day. Hopefully it stays dry and I can leave my setup as is here on the patio. I don't have to bring anything inside because of rain or whatever. That's what I'm hoping. And let's watch something on Disney Plus. Let's watch a superhero movie and try to work on my list a little bit. Because I got by 6 o'clock tonight, which is 11 hours from now, I need to have a list. Don't miss it. Don't miss it. I'm telling you. I know there's nobody watching right now, but you can watch this on repeat. Don't miss tonight. I'm telling you. This is going to be great. Everybody likes movies. Everybody likes superhero movies, except for my wife. So, this show tonight is going to be a neighbor walking a dog, and I giggle because he looks funny in his pink socks and sandals. But then again, here I am in my Crocs, so pink socks and sandals guy probably wins. Okay, so tonight, 6 o'clock, we will be doing the Nigel Tufnell Top 10 Superhero Movies of All Time. I hope to see you there. And at 2 o'clock Eastern Standard Time this afternoon, I will be doing a test live stream with another completely new guest that you had never heard from before on this show. And that's the way I'm hoping it works out. I think I'm going to work on my list. Oh, Robert Daniels. Are you watching right now, Robert? How does this sound to you? It sounded okay when I tested on my phone. I can't tell if anybody's watching. I love and I hate Facebook Live. Facebook Live is the easiest way to connect with the maximum amount of people for me. Maybe Instagram works better for other people. Maybe something else, YouTube. But I don't have a huge YouTube. Hey, Rob. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Oh, you know what I'm going to do for you, Rob? It's a little early, and my voice is still a little shot. But I'll do it for you. Vivod! Vivod! That's for Rob. So, Rob, now that I have somebody watching, I have somebody to speak to, which is nice. As you know what the plan is. The plan is the Nigel Tufnell Top 10 Superhero Movie List of all time. And I've seen some interesting picks, and I haven't made my picks yet. I'm still working on my list, but I got 11 hours to do it. We'll be going live with the superhero list at 6 o'clock, with a brand new guest that you've never heard from before. And we'll be doing another live stream at 2 o'clock this afternoon with a different guest that you've never heard from before. I'm expecting an Amazon parcel with an album in it, a CD, and no spoilers. I don't want to get into it. We're going to unbox this Amazon parcel whenever it arrives. We're going to have a live stream this weekend. And I think right now I'm going to work on my list and watch a Marvel movie or a superhero movie of some kind. Probably Marvel on Disney+. Yes, that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to watch a Marvel movie on Disney+. Okay. Live streaming weekend. I hope you enjoy. I'm very excited.
There's only so much unclear to tell you is. Wilson was an undercover crew operative named Marvel. She was working on a unique energy core, experimenting with tech that apparently could help us win the war.
Still here? You still operating with the investigation, sir? You men stay here? I want to play from her alone. Excellent work, Nicholas.
Does it say anything about me?
Anything about you? No, of course not. Why wouldn't it?
All the evidence for the life here.
I'll see if it's a third.
Marvel is who I've seen in the physical supreme intelligence. I knew her. And I knew her as Lawson.
This sounds like Skrull simulation.
No, it's not because I remember.
Now, I don't really read these to see, but they do kind of complete the look. Don't you think?
turn off this movie so you can hear him.
It's right there.
Oh, damn. Test, 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 test. Test, 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 test. Test, test. Test, test. Difficult day live streaming today. Difficult day. Very, very difficult day. The app keeps freezing. Nobody's watching. Ah, crap. Ah, well. What can you do? What can you do? What can you do? Ah, I don't know why the app keeps freezing today. It only happens when I try to invite people. Why does it happen when I try to invite people? I don't know, but it happens every time. Every time. So I don't know what we're going to do. We're going to continue, but probably using the laptop, which means I won't be able to share the screen. This is an unfortunate development. Yes, it is. Very unfortunate development. Well, I'll show you as much progress as I've made on my list here. None. I've made no progress on my list at all. I've watched maybe halfway through Captain Marvel right now. I like that movie. I like Captain Marvel. I like the 90s retro aspect of it. I like Brie Larson. I like Samuel L. Jackson. I like Ben Mendelsohn. I like Jude Law. And I love Goose. Rob Daniels knows what I'm talking about. I love Goose. Actually, you know, when I went to see Captain Marvel in the theaters, I saw it with Uncle Meat. And he kept saying through the whole movie, he kept on saying, there's something's up with that cat. Something's up with that cat. And he just loved Goose by the end of it. He just loved Goose. So I have a really, really good happy memory of going to see Captain Marvel with the Meat Man. That was on a Christmas holiday a couple of years ago, whenever it came out, which I guess would be 2 years ago. Did it come out 2 years ago? Could it be? No. Yeah, I guess it would have been 2 years ago, right? Anyway, yeah, that was a really good memory, seeing Captain Marvel with the Meat Man. I actually haven't seen very many of the Marvel movies in the theater. Most of them I just wait till the Blu-ray comes out. And I guess that's just because with Jen's epilepsy, she can't go to movies. And I'm gonna stop clicking this pen. I just actually literally threw the pen right under the laptop as well. So Jen can't go see movies because of the... Hey, Chris Alderton! How are you doing, buddy? I was just talking about the Meat Man. Our mutual friend, the Meat Man. I don't get out to movies very often because of Jen's epilepsy. If I go to movies, it's generally either by myself or with my mom and dad. And my mom and dad don't go out to movies very often. The last movie they went out to see was actually The Rise of Skywalker, and it's a really cool spider. I'm just fascinated by the spider. Captain Marvel was 2019, so Christmas 2019, a year and a half ago. No, not... Okay, my memories are mixed up here, but I know I went to see Captain Marvel with Uncle Meat during a holiday of some kind. So anyway, the last movie that I went to see with my folks was The Rise of Skywalker, which I saw in theaters twice, and probably would have seen more movies if, coronavirus didn't happen. But if coronavirus didn't happen, you wouldn't be sitting at home watching me live stream on a Saturday morning. Oh, I am drinking Canada Dry now. I will have an espresso soon because I love espresso, and I'm on my third order of Nespresso. I just ordered another 9 sleeves of Nespresso. So I will be enjoying some Nespresso this morning. An espresso by Nespresso. So Yeah, of all the Marvel movies I've seen in the theater, Iron Man, saw with Peter Cavan when it first came out. I didn't see any of the other ones in Phase 1. I kind of ignored the other ones. They didn't look that good, to be honest with you. Iron Man looked great. Thor looked kind of weird. Captain America looked cheesy. The Hulk was just like, is this going to be any good, or is it going to be just another Eric Bana disaster? Drink sponsor, says Robert Daniels. Yes, my drink sponsor today is Canada Dry. Hey, John T. Snow, good morning. I'm curious, John T. Snow, do they have Canada Dry in the United States? Let me know. I'm curious about that. John T. Snow, I was just saying to Rob that we're disabled on Facebook today a little bit on Facebook Live. I can't invite people to watch. The app keeps freezing, and I do not have a way of solving this problem. So today, I will not be inviting anybody to watch, which means we might have fewer viewers. I don't know if I can even split the screen because that's part of the invite function. I guess we'll see. So Iron Man, I saw in the theater. Captain Marvel, I saw in the theater. What else? Most of them I waited for Blu-ray. Yes, they do have Canada Dry, and it's awesome. Thank you, John. Just wanted to know that. I was curious about that. Do they have Canadian Tire in the United States? I highly doubt you have Canadian Tire. My buddy Trevor used to call it Newfie Speed and Sport. Avengers I did not see in the theater, Rob. I got it for Christmas that year, I think. I got it when it came out on Blu-ray because obviously the Avengers looked amazing. Pardon me, my my throat is dry. My throat is dry. Okay. So I got the Avengers on Blu-ray, and I immediately decided that I needed to get the previous Marvel movies so I could understand who Loki was and all these other characters that I had never seen before. So that Christmas, I got all of the other Marvel movies, and then Phase 2 began, and I was fully caught up, and then I started just buying them on Blu-ray whenever they came out. And I don't think I've seen any of them in the theater except for Captain Marvel and Iron Man. Could it be? It could be. It could be. Yeah, I can't think of seeing any of the others in the theater. Problem is, my sister doesn't particularly care for Marvel movies, and neither do my mom and dad, so I don't get out to movies that often. But today we're going to be talking about the top 11 superhero movies of all time, and I have lists from Rob, I have lists from John T. Snow, I have lists from Harrison Kopp, I have a list from Holland McGroin. The only person I don't have a list from is me. That's my list right there. I don't know why I have such a, I feel I have a bit of a mind block today, a real serious mind block today. I didn't get the greatest sleep last night, although I think I slept long enough. This sucks. I wish I could invite more people. I wish I could invite more people. And I can't invite people when I use the laptop either. I don't know why. I think Facebook Live is a great platform for me personally to reach my friends and other interested parties, but it sucks from a technical standpoint. It's so flaky. Typically in the past, the phone app has been very robust. I used the phone app last week for that incredible live stream that I did with Deke. But the phone app is so flaky today. Annoying. I am annoyed. I am irritated. Can you tell? Can you tell that I am irritated? Anyway, I'm just sitting here watching Captain Marvel, and from my screen here, you can see it is when her and Fury are in the S.H.I.E.L.D. archives. She's wearing her Nine Inch Nails shirt. The screensaver just, there we go. She's wearing her Nine Inch Nails shirt, which I thought was a cool touch. They were very, very popular in 1995. I believe we have determined this movie takes place around 1995. Am I correct? Yeah, I like it. I like it. I thought it was a good movie. When I went to... Shit. Sorry. When I went to see Captain Marvel in the theater with Uncle Meat, he kind of struggled with it a little bit because he hadn't seen Guardians of the Galaxy. And Guardians of the Galaxy is the first Marvel movie that really introduces that seriously cosmic side. So he had not seen those light speed jumps. He had not seen the Kree. He was completely unfamiliar with the Kree and who Ronan was. Rob Daniels, when I used to do it from the station, I used my laptop and one of the station computers. I can invite people from there. Bizarre. I don't know. I don't know, Rob. I'm frustrated. I'm very frustrated. John T. Snow, I never saw Captain Marvel. It didn't look good from the previews. You know, I agree. The trailers didn't do it a lot of favors. And I'm glad to say that one of the scenes that I didn't like in the trailer isn't in the movie. There's a scene where Brie Larson says, "I'm not going to fight your war. I'm going to end it." And that was in the trailer, but thankfully she doesn't say that. That line is not in the movie. So I'm glad about that. They didn't use a lot of the best footage in the trailer, in my opinion. I guess they were very conscious of avoiding spoilers with Captain Marvel. It was never quite 100% clear, all the different allegiances, and that's because there's a big reveal. There are a number of twists in Captain Marvel, but one of them is about whose side she should be fighting for. And I think because of the amount of non-spoilerage they want in these Marvel movies, they didn't end up using a lot of the best footage. I will tell you, there's a scene near the beginning of the film that Uncle Meat and I love, both, just love. And she's been captured at this point by an alien race called the Skrulls, who are shapeshifters. And Ben Mendelsohn plays the lead Skrull named Talos. They're green and have sort of Vulcan ears, but they're a cool menace in the film. Hey, is that Eric Woods? Hey, Eric Woods, if that's you, I think that's you. So there's a scene near the beginning of the movie after she's been captured by the Skrulls, and she has broken out, and she's been attacked and surrounded by a group of Skrulls, and one of them roars at her, and she responds to him with a "Ah!" And Meat and I just both absolutely just loved when she did that. It was just so spunky and humorous and good-natured. It really kind of led on the confidence of this character, this Carol Danvers, although at that point we only know her as Veers. Meat was confused about quite a lot of the movie because he hadn't seen some of the things you need to see to understand every detail of Captain Marvel. Good morning, Eric Woods. Glad to see you. We're doing the today at 6 o'clock. We will be doing the Nigel Tufnell Top 10 Superhero Movie List of all time. As you can see, I've made great progress on my list this morning. We have lists submitted by Robert Daniels, John T. Snow, Harrison Kopp, and Holden McGroin. And my list, which will be filled out before 6 o'clock tonight. That's all I can promise you. Yeah. I don't know. I guess regarding going out to see movies and really that nice happy memory of going to see Captain Marvel with the Meat Man, I do not get to see movies that often, and I am a bit of a recluse, I must admit. It's something I'm working on, a little bit of personal development, I suppose, but I don't get out a lot. So lockdown's actually been really easy for me. I like to tell people I've been training for this my whole life. I am working on it though. I'm trying to become less reclusive and trying to get out more. And unfortunately, the 2020 kind of put the brakes on that plan. But you know, going to see movies and stuff, I don't mind going alone. That's fine. But kind of adds up when you consider the popcorn and the drink and the candy bar and the ticket. It kind of adds up. It becomes a bit of a day, you know. I really enjoy going to see the movie on the IMAX screen if that's available, the 3D IMAX if that's available, or just the real D. You know what? Maybe this is a good time since I've got both Eric Daniels and Eric Daniels. Eric Daniels, who the fuck is Eric Daniels? Oh, Eric Woods, I love your list, man. I can tell you that all of those movies are on some of the lists I've read. But now that I've got Eric and Robert Daniels on live, I have a question for you guys. This came up a few weeks ago during the live stream, an argument about 3D and Real D. I understand that some people get headaches when they watch Real D, and it happens. My wife would be one of those people. But on a previous stream, people were arguing that 3D never worked, like even Avatar. And I strongly disagree. I find that Real D works. And I'm curious what you two guys think about Real D. I mean, obviously, there's, just like everything else, there's good and bad 3D. But when it's done well, I have thoroughly enjoyed Real D. Avatar is the best possible example of a well-done Real D. I can remember seeing it the first time, and I went to see it by myself. I can remember seeing it for the first time, and when the little luminescent sprites and things are floating around on the screen, it looks like you're right in front of your nose. And I remember going like that and reaching out to grab it. And another great example from Star Wars: The Force Awakens. There's a scene where there's a Star Destroyer, and the nose of the Star Destroyer is right in your face. And I remember being like, whoa, when I saw that. Like, I kind of like moved back a little bit because it looked like it was going to stab me right between the eyes. Rob Daniels, when things open up, I'd be more than happy to see movies with you. Fantastic, my friend. That sounds good to me. And Eric Woods, best 3D films, Gravity and Avatar. But if it's a gimmick, I actively avoid 3D movies. Yeah, agreed, man. Avatar, I think it was a bit of a gimmick, but, you know, at least Jim Cameron did all that world building to make it worthwhile. We were discussing the merits of Avatar a couple weeks ago, and I don't want to get too much into it. I agree that it's derivative of many other things, but I thoroughly enjoyed it, and I saw it in the theater at least 3 times. Because I wanted that 3D experience, and it was a good 3D experience. Agree with Gravity, says Rob Daniels. You know, I haven't even seen that in 2D yet. I think it's on Netflix. Name me a really bad example for a gimmicky 3D movie. And I don't mean like the old style 3D, like Jaws 3D. I mean like if a really gimmicky, Real D, modern era movie. Name me something of that. Avatar works because it was shot in 3D. Yeah, I understand that is correct, that you can shoot something in 3D and then you can also convert something to 3D, and the conversions are never as good as something that was shot in 3D with the dual camera lens that James Cameron pioneered, basically. And Eric Wood says his kids love Avatar. You know what? That's cool, man. I don't get the hate for Avatar. It's not going to go down in history as my favorite science fiction movie. It wouldn't make my top 10 or anything like that. But I applaud Jim Cameron on the world building that he did. You know, the monster designs, not monster, creature designs. They looked like they all evolved on the same world, you know, be it the pairs of eyes or the second set of arms. They looked like they all evolved on the same world. Journey to the Center of the Earth. They pushed the tech on that one. Journey to the Center of the Earth. Is that the one with Brendan Fraser? Is that? You're gonna have to help me on that one, Rob. Journey to the Center of the Earth. I know he's not talking about the classic, the original. Star Trek Into Darkness looked like paper cutouts because 3D was done afterwards in post. Flat-looking 3D. I never saw Into Darkness in the theater. The only Star Trek movie of the current trilogy that I saw in the theater was actually the first one, which was fantastic. Oh, we could get into the Star Trek alternate universe trilogy. We could. One good, it totally screwed up the even odd thing. The 2009 movie, which I think was Star Trek 11. Yeah, odd movie, which are technically usually not the good ones. Star Trek 2009 was the good one, and then the other two were kind of like, we went down like this until Into Darkness. All the way. No. Star Trek Beyond sucked. Brendan Fraser, said Robert Daniel. I didn't know that was a 3D movie, Rob. Honestly, I didn't know. Some of the animated stuff looks great in 3D. I remember seeing trailers for things like How to Train Your Dragon in 3D, and that looked great, the trailer. I didn't go to see it, but the trailer looked fantastic. Yeah, you know, there's a lot of movies that you don't need to see in 3D, but, you know, I like to see a movie, if I'm into the movie, I like to see it more than once in the theater anyway. So I might as well go see it in 2D, in 3D, try to give it a viewing in both formats. I did that with Rise of Skywalker. No, did I see it in 3D both times? I can't remember. Anyway, I saw Rise of Skywalker twice, and at least one of them was 3D. Probably just one time, because my parents don't particularly care for the 3D, so we probably saw it once in 3D and then saw it with my parents in 2D. Didn't Star Trek Nemesis break the even odd thing? Yeah, it did, Eric. You know what? I'm going to give you my Star Trek breakdown, okay? Don't like the motion picture. Love Wrath of Khan. Search for Spock. Love The Voyage Home. Hate The Final Frontier. Love Undiscovered Country. Generations was... I like First Contact. But then Insurrection broke the streak for me. I like Insurrection. I'm an Insurrection guy. But then Nemesis totally flushed it down the toilet. Totally flushed it down the toilet. So there's my Star Trek breakdown for you. Yep, there's a scene where Fraser's character is cleaning his teeth and he spits into the camera. I hate that gimmicky crap. You know what? You guys are familiar with SCTV. Of course you are. Dr. Tongue's 3D House of Space Chicks. They used to spoof those things, and they would do this. Every time they wanted to show you something in 3D. It was like Dr. Tongue's 3D House of Pancakes, and John Candy played Dr. Tongue. Would you like some more pancakes? I remember seeing an old Three Stooges movie that was in 3D, and I remember Moe threw a knife, and the knife went like right past the camera. That was so funny. Yes, the 3D House of Beef, says Rob Daniels. Of course you know SCTV. I was just talking to my mom the other night about one of our favorite sketches on SCTV, which was Six Gun Justice, the old cowboy serial western with Eugene Levy playing Don Mills, the cowboy hero, and Martin Short playing Cheap Laughs Johnson, the comedy sidekick, and Andrea Martin playing the damsel in distress, the character's name, Buttercup, butter something. Buttercup? Not Buttercup. Butterfield? Something like that. She had the ranch with the uranium or the whatever it was that the Turns out the Japanese wanted General Tojo figures into the plot. By the end of the thing, you find out that these cowboys that are harassing the Butterfield Ranch work for General Tojo, and they're trying to steal the radioactive elements for their atomic bombs. My God, that was a funny sketch on SCTV. Oh crap! Well, I hope you guys are having a good morning. I think I'm going to get another drink. And I think I am going to get back to watching my Captain Marvel. And I think I'm going to try to get back to finishing this list, which I haven't started yet. Does that sound like a plan? Does that sound like a plan to you guys? Yeah, okay. So, what we learned from this live stream is that I can live stream from my phone, but I cannot invite people to watch. It freezes when we do that. So, every week it's different. Every week, Facebook Live is different. It's crazy. Anyway, thank you, Eric. You enjoy the day too. Yes, get working on that list, sir, says Rob. Okay, you take care, guys. I'll talk to you later. This is the unboxing portion of the weekend as I drink my espresso. My list is done. My list is done. The list is done. Hey, Rob. Okay, so this is the unboxing portion of the weekend. We just got an Amazon delivery. I have sanitized this parcel. Here's what bugs me. There's two things that goes with this. Two things. And they're both Amazon Prime. And I asked them to be shipped together, and yet there's only one thing in here. So there might be two unboxings today. The list is done. My God! My God! I'm going to unbox this now, or unbag it, I suppose, would be the operative term. Should be able to just rip this open, but maybe not. It says open here, but it's not as easy as it looks. There we go. Secret Path by Gord Downie. This was on television, CBC 2 nights ago. It was Gord Downie's last concert, and this is the studio album that he was performing in that concert. This is a concept album by Gord Downie, tragically hip, and it is the story of Chani Wenjack. Chani Wenjack was a 12-year-old native boy who lived at a residential school in northern Ontario. And for those who don't know about Canada's history with residential schools, they weren't a pleasant place for these poor young native kids to live in. They were forced to speak English and forced to give up their culture, and they were not nice places. And one day in October of 1966, I believe it was, Chani Wenjack escaped and tried to return to his home reserve, which I believe was 600 miles away, something like that. And he of course died en route. And this is his story. And I was extremely moved by the concert that I saw. It was Gord Downie's very last concert before he passed away, and it was intense. Intense is the only word I can think of to describe it. As soon as I saw that concert, I ordered the disc, and I also ordered the accompanying graphic novel, which was supposed to ship with this, but did not. So I guess we'll find out where the graphic novel is. According to the sticker on the front, proceeds from Secret Path will be donated to the National Center for Truth and Reconciliation, www.secretpath.ca. 2016. Man, Gord Downie's been gone a long time already.
I think we could use Gord Downie today. I think Gord Downie would be somebody who would have an important voice today, but it was not meant to be. So I will be enjoying this later on this afternoon. Just a reminder, of course, we have a live stream coming up at 2 o'clock this afternoon. I will be having a special guest, and we'll be trying to accomplish something technically, but I'm not optimistic about that. Especially considering we have such bad luck today with the technical difficulties. Oh, goodness gracious, that's good espresso. This brew is called Voltessa, and it'll probably be my last. Well, maybe not my last. I don't like to have too much caffeine. And I didn't get a lot of sleep last night. Didn't get a lot. So, don't want to chemically induce too much caffeine and try to keep myself awake. But anyways, I got to get some energy. We're going to do a live stream at 2 o'clock, which may or may not go as planned. And then hopefully the 6 o'clock live stream will go off flawlessly. That one will be the top 11 superhero. Oh, birdie. Wish I could show me a little birdie. When I edit these live streams together, beautiful bird. When I edit these live streams together and put them up on YouTube, I'm going to include my my videos of the chipmunks that were visiting me this morning. Love chipmunks. So Gord Downie, Secret Path. The tracks include The Stranger, Swing Set, 7 Matches, I Will Not Be Struck, Sun, Secret Path, Don't Let This Touch You, Haunt Them, Haunt Them, Haunt Them, The Only Place to Be, Here, Here, and Here. And while all the songs were extremely powerful, I found 7 Matches to be particularly so. Channy Wenjack only had 7 matches in a glass jar. He had no food. He had planned on asking some of the rail workers that were stationed along the rail line that he was following for help and food, but he didn't survive. He only wore, or only had available to wear. There. My sister's music is not necessarily mood appropriate to this. He only had a windbreaker to wear, and the temperature got down to -6. It was October in Northern Ontario, and anybody who knows anything about Northern Ontario knows it can get cold. So Channy Wenjack has since become a symbol of Canada's history with Indigenous populations, and something that Gord Downie in his last years was trying to start to set right. I believe in the live concert he said something like, "This is a beginning," and he knew he wasn't going to be around to finish the job. He knew that he only had a limited amount of time left, and perhaps that's one of the things that makes this such a powerful concert. I can't wait to hear the album. The songs were quite good. In the past, I haven't been too enthralled with Gord Downie's solo albums. You know, there's no question Gord Downie and the Tragically Hip can be an acquired taste. His vocalizing is not mainstream at all. About as mainstream as my sister's album that we're listening to. So, you know, I haven't really dug Gord's solo albums so much. But what I heard that night on that concert, there wasn't a bad song in this album. So I'm looking forward to hearing it. I'm looking forward to reviewing it. I'm looking forward to the next sip of espresso. So good. So good. I love my Nespresso machine. Yeah, so anyway, I'm just enjoying the day. Trying to maintain some energy for tonight. I just ate a delicious. This episode has been sponsored by Eastside Mario's. I just ate a delicious Eastside Mario's garden salad with the big green pepper in it. Oh, so good. That was a hot one too. Really, the first. What you have to do with those big green Eastside Mario's peppers is you have to bite the tip off and let the vinegar drip out. But even when you do that, it's still pretty hot. My tongue got singed, and I could feel it in my nose and down my throat. Yeah, I love those Eastside Mario's garden salads. They're fantastic. They're wonderful. Just like this espresso is wonderful. Yes, 3D. Right, Rob? Rob says, "Oh man, can I not read these comments? I'm gonna have to keep scrolling. Cool, so to speak." Yeah, I don't like the interface on the laptop. It is what it is. I don't know what the problem is. I have you know what? I'm gonna try something on the desktop later this afternoon. Maybe the 2 o'clock live stream I'll try inside on the desktop. Because I think Facebook Live Producer interacts with different versions of Windows differently. And maybe I have to change some settings so that my Facebook is more set up for the desktop computer, which has the latest version of Windows. I'm just thinking out loud. 3D House of Coffee. Yes. I'm just thinking out loud here. Just trying to make this live stream work. But in a couple of hours, I will be making a phone call and having our first guest on today. And I'm looking forward to that. He's a long-time buddy. I first met him, 1996. 24 years I've known this guy. And we'll see how that goes. That one will be done from the Samsung cellular telephone. Because I'm hoping to do a split screen with another guest, but we'll see. This is all very, very difficult. All right, well, I'm glad to have done this unboxing here. I'm just going to sit and enjoy my afternoon, finish my espresso. Ooh. Oh yeah, that was good. That was good. Yeah. Well, I guess that's it for now. As I said, I'll eventually be editing all this stuff together for the final YouTube upload. And I'm looking forward to mixing in my chipmunk video. Because Ladano's Wild Kingdom is another thing that we do here on the live stream. We do Ladano's Wild Kingdom as well. But I actually did get some pretty cool chipmunk footage this morning. He was playing hide and seek with me a little bit. So, Rob, you take care. I think you're the only one watching, although I cannot tell. I have no way of seeing how many people are watching. Maybe if I go onto my Facebook, I'll be able to see. No, it doesn't say. Oh, no, it does say. One person. So it's just you and me, Rob. All right. Well, I'm gonna bail. I'll be back at 2 o'clock, if not sooner. Take care.
Okay, we are live again. I'm going to try to invite Deke into the show, and if I fail, it's Facebook's fault. Okay, hello everybody.
Hello?
It is Aaron from the KMA.
Yes, it is. Hello, everyone.
We have Aaron here as our special guest today. I'm going to try to bring Deke on camera. We're going to give it a try. But we have Aaron from the KMA here, and I thought this would be a nice to bring you on as a special guest. And hey, there's Deke. Now, I don't know if you guys are going to be able to hear each other.
Okay. Say something, Deke.
I can hear Aaron.
Oh, I hear him.
Oh, okay, great.
Boom, we're live. Live without a net.
Oh, I can hear both of you.
Well, isn't that okay? Great. Well, Aaron, I just wanted to bring you on and sort of like now Deke's disappeared, but I can see his ceiling. I just wanted to bring you on and talk about the KMA a bit.
Oh, sure. Yeah, no, that's cool.
Now, some of this information is not new to me, but I'm going to ask it anyway because it might be new to some of the people watching.
Fire away.
Okay, so KMA, Keeps Me Alive, comes from a lyric. I believe it is a Tragically Hip lyric, or is it a Henry Rollins lyric?
It is is actually from a Black Flag song
Ah,
from Damaged, and the song is called Room 13. I had been in a Black Flag mood, as I am often, and when we were talking about setting up the blog and what should we call it, that song was stuck in my head, and it just sort of worked. So,
and you have been on. You have been online in the KMA world for how many years?
oh boy. Well, the first post, I actually looked this up in prep for this conversation, was October 12th, 2006.
Wow,
Coming up on 14 years.
14 years.
Yeah.
Well, that's pretty incredible.
So I extend all apologies to the internet.
Now, your partner in crime, James Kalin, he's known on these live streams as the guy who's offered to pay me $7 to eat a stick and a worm.
Do it.
And I understand you did not do this.
I have not yet.
Oh man, what a bummer.
James, how do you know James?
Well, okay, so that goes back a long way. We lived in Saskatchewan from 2001 to 2005. The reason we moved out there was because I got a job at the U of S dealing with student health insurance, and his friend Desiree was the leader of the grad students union.
Ah,
So her, and then probably some concert or some show or whatever, or we would run into each other in different places and stuff, and it just sort of went from there.
well, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, I couldn't give you an exact date or time or anything,
But it was the Saskatoon years to put it in a time frame, and certainly longer than 14.
yes, yes. Well, and that's actually to further. I might be getting ahead of another one of your questions, but that's exactly why the blog started.
For you guys to keep in touch
Yes.
musically. Deke is outside now, just so you know.
I'm on
How's
the
it
move.
going, Deke?
Good, pal.
Hey, dude.
Hey, Mr. Books.
Yes. How are things in Thunder Bay?
Well, things are all right, you know. It's kind of an overcast kind of day today, but yeah, temperatures are holding steady. I think we're at about 23 degrees, so we're okay.
We're 28 here, so I'd rather be where you are.
Well, there you go. Yeah, well, at least we're not getting
It's
any
hot here. It's hot.
Could snow anytime.
Yeah, I agree with you this time.
hotter than hell.
I was just playing Dress to Kill. I wasn't playing Hotter Than Hell, though.
Oh,
No.
okay. You just did
That's
Revenge.
hilarious.
Yeah, Deke was doing Revenge as his weekend spin this weekend.
Yeah.
Yep, that's right. I got that as a Father's Day gift from my daughter Lauren. So,
Aw.
but she lost. I think she mentioned it like in May, and she goes, she had no idea when actually Father's Day was, so she just went and bought it.
Oh, that's
She knew
pretty
it was in-
cool.
She knew it was in June, so yeah, and Sue and Lexi, they got a copy of Power Windows coming to me on vinyl now too, as I just found out yesterday or Thursday. So
Damn.
can't beat vinyl as gift.
No.
No, not at all. So
They keep on giving.
yeah, that's right, man. The collection keeps on growing. So yeah, all is good here. We are
Wow.
A-OK. Yeah. Can I tell a story about the first time I ever called Mr. Book?
First time you ever called me.
Yeah, don't you remember when your cell phone rang about 75 times? And then you finally answered and you go, hello? And I went, good day, can I speak to a chap named Mr. Books? And then there was dead silence, and then you started roaring. Oh, frick, man. That was classic.
Yep.
Mr. Books.
No, in my person, the only person that calls my cell phone is my wife. So, you know, she was with me.
Oh, that's right, yeah. Oh, that made me laugh, man. Mr. Books.
You know, I have to say, guys, it doesn't look that bad in Thunder Bay right now.
Never bad in Thunder Bay.
Here,
It's a
hang
little
on.
overcast, but I mean, it looks like it's otherwise nice outside.
There's Fender, and there's Izzy.
Oh, puppies! I'm now
Yeah.
getting a view of puppies.
Oh,
Yeah.
fantastic.
And now I got to kick the ball.
So, Aaron, I wanted to ask you,
Yeah.
because today's live stream tonight, anyway, is top superhero movies of all time.
Okay.
So we're going to be doing lists of those, and I was wondering if you had any opinion on a favorite superhero movie.
Oh dear, that one catches me unprepared.
Yeah, I thought so.
The first one that comes to mind is the Michael Keaton Batman.
I will tell you that movie made a couple of lists that we're going to be reading off tonight.
Oh, good. Okay.
Hey, Mikey, sorry to interrupt, guys. Mikey, your voice is picking out. Mr. Books' voice is super clear.
Having audio issues, I guess.
Okay, now you sound good. Now you're clear, Mikey.
Okay, maybe I just need to lean in closer. So everybody can see every blemish on my forehead. I am now leaned in really close.
Now we can all see the ZZ Ladano beard in its growth.
Trying to make some adjustments here. This isn't the most successful live stream I've ever done, but hey, it's the first time we've had both of you guys on simultaneously.
Great.
Well, yeah. Hey, man, you don't know unless you try, right? So, all good.
I'm having a hard time hearing Deke, unfortunately.
Hello?
Not as loud as you. I don't know if that's unhelpful, but
Well,
it
maybe
is what
have-
it is.
Hey. Oh,
Today
free.
has been sort of like the day of experimental live streaming. We've just been trying to get some different people involved, and unfortunately, we've had to try some different methods to do that. But I will say I have some messages here from John T. Snow, who is out record shopping right now. There we go. I accidentally paused the stream when I checked my message. It looks like John T. Snow has acquired for me a copy of the brand new Deep Purple single.
Nice.
Yeah. And that one has a B-side on it that's not going to be on the album. So I'm looking forward to that.
well, that punches all of Mike's happy buttons.
It certainly does. I think he mentioned it's a 10-inch single too. So, you know, odd sizes.
Is it
I'm
a big
excited.
10 inch?
Sorry,
Is it a
what's
big
that,
10
Deke?
inch? Is it a big 10 inch?
I think it's a 10-inch, yeah. I'm really having a hard time hearing him.
Big 10 inch.
I might have to call this an interview basically at this point. I don't know if I can continue. I can barely hear. But I would call this a success. We've connected all three of us at the same time.
I am
Yeah,
honored
it's
to be a
good.
part.
I thought this was fun.
Sure.
I just wish I could hear Deke, but I can see him, and you know that's got to count for something because you know he's got the rugged Thunder Bay kind of appearance. He brings the he's making some rock and roll faces right now. He brings sort of like that rock and roll integrity to the stream, whereas I kind of more just look like an old hippie at this point.
Let's just say you're lucky I'm on the phone because I have a face for radio.
Well, if we ever do the Zoom thing and figure out how to get that to work, you are going to have to show your, well, you don't have to show your face. You can wear a mask, I suppose. Why not, right?
Oh, I've been in all your videos of Toronto anyway.
Yeah, this is true.
Break the internet then.
Yeah. All right, gentlemen. I thank you for your time. I'll consider this a semi-success. I'll have to see when I download the video and put it on YouTube is when I kind of get to see what the end quality looks like. But you know, if it's watchable, if it's something that we can watch and understand, then we can do this again.
Sure.
Absolutely.
Sounds good.
I'd just like to say before we go,
Yeah.
to everyone watching, everyone listening, thank you. Because I'm always about community,
Yeah.
and I really, really like the thing that's built up and all the conversations and all the sending you towards new albums.
Yeah.
You guys all rock. Thank you.
And in addition to that, helping everybody with their collections.
Oh my God.
Like that's been huge. Like I can't tell you at this point. I've lost track of how many different Holy Grails that you have got for me, or Scott Carson, or now in this case John T. Snow. You know, it's been incredible.
Oh yeah, and hey, that's a good plug. Anybody who's on the KMA website and they look at the top and they see that Grail list thing
Yeah.
of albums you can't find, message us. We'll put it on there, and then everybody use that list if you're out out and about. You never know what you're going to come across, and you can help somebody out.
Hey, Aaron, you can say hi to 80s Metal Man. He just tuned in.
Well, hello, 80s Metal Man.
Anyway, he tuned in at the wrong time, unfortunately, because we're going to call the stream done for now. Deke is saluting us goodbye, and Aaron, thank you. We'll do this again. Like I said, we'll check out the end result, and if we could just do it with just you and me, if that works better, then we'll do it that way next time.
All you got to do is let me know.
Sounds good to me, man.
All right.
All right.
All right.
Okay. Bye-bye. We're going to do a quick unboxing. Hello, folks. Let's see if I can see myself up on my screen here. Looking good. How is the audio? Frankie Toms, tell me how the audio is, please. I had a problem with an earlier stream, and it wasn't picking up my Blue Snowball microphone. So let me know how the audio is as I do this unboxing weekend. Kind of ridiculous that Amazon shipped this in 2 separate packages. I don't get that, but whatever. It's the modern world that we live in today. Ah, beautiful. I didn't know how big this was going to be, but it's quite large. This is the Gord Downie Secret Path graphic novel that goes with the CD that arrived earlier today. Wow. This is going to be difficult to show because it's so large, but look how striking that artwork is. That's Channy Wenjack at the residential school. We talked about the Secret Path earlier. Oh, there is some dialogue. Or are those the lyrics? Those are the lyrics. So there's no dialogue, just the album's lyrics. And I happened to open a page to one of the most striking songs, which is 7 Matches. And Channy Wenjack, when he escaped from the residential school, all he brought with him down the train tracks was a glass jar with 7 matches inside. And Channy Wenjack died in October of 1966 next to those train tracks as he was trying to escape the residential school. So, yeah, that came about because CBC reran the Gord Downie Secret Path concert earlier this week. It was actually the very last concert that Gord Downie ever performed, and it was very powerful. And a lot of the images, a lot of the imagery from the graphic novel was used in an animation behind Gord. So yeah, very powerful, very striking, and I absolutely had to get the album and the graphic novel after seeing it. And all proceeds go towards... The exact name of the fund is the National Center for Truth and Reconciliation. www.secretpath.ca. And as Gord Downie said in his in the show, this is a start. He knew he wasn't going to be able to see this through any further, but he gave it a hell of a start. So yeah, I'm going to have a special guest on at 6 o'clock, and we're going to be counting down the Nigel Tufnell Top 10 superhero movies of all time. I've got to change my shirt though before we do the top 10. I'm going to run inside and change my shirt. I have a special shirt lined up for tonight. This shirt was a gift from a buddy of mine, but unfortunately the occasion for which the gift was given will not be able to come to pass in 2020. It was supposed to be, we were supposed to be wearing matching shirts to TFCon this summer, but there is no TFCon this summer. And yeah, I'm going to, since I can't invite people to my stream, I'm going to share this stream to my, the LeBrain group. How do I do that? I fucking hate Facebook. On your page, LeBrain. I'm sharing it to the LeBrain page, and I think I can also share it to my story, which seems to have an effect. It seems to get people to watch it. Okay. Okay, so we are 10 minutes away. Hey, there's Deke. I'll watch later. Have a good one, bro. Thank you, Deeky. Really appreciate it, buddy. Deke was on earlier today. We did a test stream with Aaron from the KMA and Deke, and they could hear each other just fine. I just got a text from my special guest for tonight. Just got a text from my special guest tonight. Okay, so turn up the ringtone. We are going live in 10 minutes. Nigel Tufnell top 10 superhero movies of all time. I'm going to be changing my shirt for when we go into this because I have a special shirt lined up for tonight. I'm hoping to be able to watch all the comments here, but shall see. I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to see all the comments, as Facebook Live is getting stranger and stranger and stranger all the time. Stranger all the time. So, we have 10 minutes to go before we do this. Nigel Tufnell top 10 superhero movies of all time. And you know, it's hot. It's hot out here tonight. Yes, it is. It is hot. It is not cool. We've had nicer nights to do these live streams. I'm just straighten my camera here. There we go. We've had nicer nights to do these live streams. That is for sure. It has been a hot one, and I wish I was at the cottage, but I'm not. I'm here, so I'm entertaining you. I hope you like this shirt because it's coming off pretty soon. I'm going to be changing into the shirt of the evening for the show. The Nigel Tufnell top 10 superhero movies of all time. What was that? I think that was that my phone or was that the audio? What was that? I don't know. It's been a comedy of errors today. It's been an absolute comedy of errors. Make sure not to have your phone screen visible. Yep. No problem. No problem. Okay, so this is going to be a lot of fun. Doing something a little different tonight with the special guest. It's another new one that has never been on the show before, and tonight's show is being brought to you by Diet Pepsi, because it was the only cold thing that was in the fridge. Oh, fuck off. God damn you, computer. It was the only cold thing in the fridge, so that's why Diet Pepsi. I think it's time to go in and change into the uniform for the evening. You're going to like this. Be back in a flash. Gord Downey, Secret Path. I heard some messages going off. Somebody's been messaging me. It's Eric Litwiller. Okay. Okay. Eric, I can't talk right now. I'm live. Okay, closing your window, Eric Litwiller. Closing your window. There we go. Okay. Hope you like the shirt of the evening. I don't know who's watching, but Frank Toms is still here anyway. I don't like this interface, but we do have a new shirt. There's Rob Daniels. Rob Daniels. I'm here. Excellent. All right, well, we're 5 minutes away. I'm going to give my guest a call. If I can remember how. We're using technology. We're using technology. And thank you for being a friend, says Robert Daniels, which is a reference. Okay. Open. There we are. There he is. We are going to call him and put him on speakerphone.
Hello?
Hello! How are you?
I'm alright.
Excellent. I have you live on speaker right now.
Okay, so
I am just testing
don't
to
say anything
No, keep
incriminating.
No, not incriminating, but if you could just say a few words. We're doing an audio test before we run down these lists.
It seems like the advantageous thing to do.
I would think so, yes. Can you hear me?
You're a smart man. I can hear you fine.
Excellent. I can hear you, so if they can hear you, then we're all good. I have debuted a new shirt tonight that you will be seeing on the when we put this up on YouTube. And just to give you a clue, 2 of the comments that I've received so far are thank you for being a friend and that I am definitely a golden girl.
Huh. Does that have to do with the shirt?
Yes, it's a Golden Girls shirt. I wish you could see it. Well, you will see it. It's only a matter of time. How's the audio sound, folks? Can you give me some feedback on the audio, please? Once I get some feedback on the audio... Sounds like The Mandalorian, apparently. But that doesn't mean that it's not audible. You just sound like The Mandalorian.
How many people are on?
I am not sure. I cannot tell. At least 3. Because I have comments from 3. We have Frank Toms, Eric Litwiller, and Rob Daniels. Probably some other folks that I cannot see.
Three's a crowd, right?
3 is a crowd. I'm sure that there's more. So apparently you sound like The Mandalorian, but I'm assuming that means you're audible. So I'm going to go ahead. Oh, Eric Litwiller says the audio's fine. I'm going to go ahead and start by introducing you. Ladies and gentlemen, for the very first time ever on the show, we have Holland McGroin, who you have read, but never heard the voice of before. Hello, Holland. And tonight, with Holland, we have a total of 5 superhero lists that we're going to go through. We're going to do the Nigel Tufnell Top 10 Superhero Movies, and because it is a Top 10 of Nigel Tufnell's, we get to do 11. So I have my own personal list. I have a list from Rob Daniels. I have a list from John T. Snow. And you, my friend, have 2 lists.
Correct. You're reading mine and Harrison's. According to the plan.
According to the plan. Well,
All caps.
we have to do these in a specific order, I think. We'll do them in rounds. I think I want to start... Sorry, go ahead.
Go back and forth, right? That makes sense.
Yeah, so I think I'll start with Rob's. Then you go Harrison's. I'll come back with John's. You do yours, and I'll do mine.
Kick ass.
All right. Rob Daniels, starting off the Nigel Tufnell Top 10 Superhero Movies of All Time with 1991's The Rocketeer. An underrated classic with a great villain played by Timothy Dalton, says Rob Daniels. I didn't see this one coming. Didn't see it coming.
I didn't see that one coming either, but I'm glad to see that it's there.
Yeah, it's been a while since I've seen it, but I'm glad to see it's there as well.
Fun movie. It's been a while since I've seen it too. Probably the better part of a decade.
Yeah, easily for me.
Or
All right.
else I'd comment on it more, but I don't know. I remember him fixing the rocket with gum, so there's some ingenuity.
Yeah, for sure.
And I remember Jennifer Connelly too, so it's
Yeah.
hard to forget that.
Jennifer Connelly, yeah. All right, what's Harrison got?
Number 11, Iron Man 2.
Ew.
That's what I thought. Sort of. Could be worse.
He's playing with this.
Number 11 is Iron Man 2.
No. Okay, you know what? Straight on to John T. Snow. No comment other than you. John T. Snow's number 11 is Unbreakable, which I knew was going to show up at some point, and there it is, Unbreakable. And I remember when Unbreakable came out, it was kind of like during a period of a resurgence of superhero movies, you know? And I liked it. I like Unbreakable. I'll go with John T. Snow. I'll give him a thumbs up on that.
I liked Unbreakable too. I think it was one of M. Night's last good all the way through films.
Yeah.
Signs was good up until the end.
Yeah.
But I really liked the drama in Unbreakable. Now he tried to make it seem like a superhero film in a more real life context, I suppose.
Exactly. And you didn't know you were watching a superhero film.
Between, Bruce Willis and his son as well.
Yep. Excellent
I think
dynamic.
Shyamalan writes kids well.
And Robin Wright
The
Penn.
scenes where they're lifting weights and everything, and he's gonna shoot his dad with a gun.
Love those scenes. Excellent
Lots of
call outs.
tension. Done well.
Absolutely. You know what? Thumbs up. My number 11, Zack Snyder's The Watchmen.
Ooh.
I have a soft spot for those alternate history type storylines. I acknowledge that Zack Snyder probably could have cut an hour out of the film, but
Which cut did you see?
both.
Okay.
And it does run long, and some of the acting is kind of shaky. But I
There's three
love
cuts,
alternate
actually.
history, man. I love that stuff.
I really liked this. I really liked Watchmen as well.
Yeah.
I could say that about one Zack Snyder movie.
Yeah.
I was talking to Harrison about it the other day, actually. He said, he asked me if I was liable to change my mind once they released the Snyder cut of Justice League. I said, no, I think that's a flaming pile of shit no matter how you cut it up. I could be wrong, but that movie was an unmitigated disaster.
Rob Daniels says regarding The Watchmen, he just brings up the big blue dong.
It's distracting.
It is distracting. All right, well, this brings us back
So you said
to...
two cuts. Have you seen 3 cut? Have you seen the ultimate cut then?
I have seen... Okay, so I've got the box set with the 4-hour cut, including the pirate story. I have the Blu-ray with, I guess, the extended cut, and I guess there's a short cut that I haven't seen.
Well, maybe that's the cut for you.
Maybe.
It's the theatrical cut.
Maybe, yeah. I'm running back to John T. Snow, who comes at number 10 with The Incredibles out of the box again. He says, this is what a Fantastic Four film should have been. Funny, exciting, and just all-around fun. It also skipped the superhero origin and just told a great story.
Speaking of skipping, I never gave mine.
Oh, shit! Sorry. Okay, back to number 11.
My number 11 is David Cronenberg's Scanners.
Really?
There you go. I thought that one would throw you.
Yeah?
One for Canadian Pride, right?
Yeah.
It's still a superhero movie. The telekinetic powers and shit.
You're right.
Was Michael Ironsides
Oh,
blowing a dude's head off.
you are 100% correct. You are 100%
It's not my
correct.
favorite of the Cronenberg movies, but I think that speaks more to the quality of his work than it does to Scanners.
And also, it's
But I will say the lead actor is very, very boring.
who was the lead actor?
Stephen Lack.
Stephen Lack. Is that the guy from Avatar?
I don't think so.
Okay, never mind then. Rob Daniels gives a nice to Scanners. He says nice.
Thank you very much.
And since I've already done The Incredibles for John T. Snow, you may as well go to Harrison.
Okay. I'm gonna have to pull up the list now. I was
Okay.
going from memory.
Okay.
X-Men 2 is Harrison's number 10.
Excellent.
What was John's 10? I forgot.
Sorry?
So what was John's 10 again?
John's 10 was The Incredibles.
Oh, okay.
I like
Thumbs up
Harrison's
there.
number 10. I like it. It's good.
It's way better than his number 11.
Man, I screwed this up. Rob Daniels had The Incredibles.
Oh, yeah?
Yes, I screwed that up. I'm sorry. I kind of didn't sleep very well last night. And it's obvious by this train wreck of a beginning.
I'm sure it'll smooth out.
It'll smooth out. Okay, so I've got this straightened out that Rob Daniels had The Incredibles and Harrison Copp's got X2. Which
Right.
may or may
So
not
it's
come up
number,
again. And I guess that brings us to Jon Snow next, with his number 10.
It's real 10.
It's another animated one. It's Big Hero 6. And
Okay.
his kids, and he really enjoys watching it with his kids.
That's kosher.
I've never seen it.
Neither have I. Not much to talk about then, huh?
I know it exists.
Correct, me too. I've heard of it.
And this brings us to Harrison. No,
Harrison again?
no, it brings us to you. I
Oh,
think.
me? My number 10?
You're number 10.
Okay. My number 10 is Highlander.
Highlander. Interesting. Interesting.
It's not the highest art film in the world, but it's spectacle. It's a lot of
certainly
fun.
certainly a classic for its time, a cult classic at least, at minimum. I never
Great
considered it a
performance, bro.
superhero movie. You know, after the second Highlander, I kind of considered it an alien movie.
I don't consider the second Highlander at all.
No, most people don't. That's a good one. I'm enjoying your list so far.
Right. Great Queen soundtrack, too.
Heck yeah.
I like that album a lot, actually.
Yeah, me too.
It seems to be divisive, kind of magic.
I don't see why. I think it's solid from back to front. Frank Toms says that Big Hero 6 is a solid movie and has a Stan Lee guest appearance.
Oh, yeah?
So that's pretty cool.
So they're grabbing him in to pour him out for any movie now.
I
Not
guess.
just Marvel stuff.
Why not? He's a
Not
commodity.
Marvel or Kevin Smith.
Yeah. This brings me to my number 10. I think this is the only appearance of Superman 2 on any of these lists.
You are correct. If you haven't read mine or Harrison's.
I like Superman 2, and I like Terrence Stamp as General Zod, and basically Superman 2 is on my list because of Terrence Stamp.
One performance.
I loved it.
So, do you have a preference on this one for which cut?
You know what? I the standard theatrical cut is the one that I grew up with. So I'm going to say that one. I don't mind the extended cut on the DVD, and I know there was a really super extended one for the television. I like the one that I grew up with.
Well, there's the Richard Donner one where they put Marlon Brando back
Oh,
in.
right. That's distracting to
Reading
me.
off it.
It's too distracting
Reading
to
off
me.
of cue cards.
Yeah, because he absolutely refused to memorize his dialogue. Rob Daniels says A Kind of Magic is a great Queen album, and he is correct. Are we back
Agree
to?
all the way.
Are we back to number 9 now?
No, we got Snow and Daniels, right?
For number 10, Daniels had The
Or-
Incredibles, and Snow had Big Hero
right,
6.
The Incredibles and Big Hero 6. So
Yeah,
Are we back to Harrison then?
Harrison had X2, right?
Yeah, I meant on number 9.
Oh, number 9. Okay, we could do Harrison. Go ahead.
All right. Spider-Man 2.1.
Spider-Man 2.1. That was the DVD, the slightly extended DVD edition of it, I think, right?
Right.
Yeah, interesting. He's being very specific there, kind of annoyingly specific.
Oh, you don't like that?
I like Spider-Man 2. It almost made my list. I find it just funny how he insists that it's got to be the 2.1 version.
Yeah, I prefer the original actually.
I think there was one scene in the original that was different in 2.1 that I really missed, and it might have been an elevator scene.
Where they're coming down. Right, because he's lost his powers, and he's coming down the elevator with that one guy. It's this cool Spider-Man outfit.
Yeah, and I think that was a different take in the 2.1 version. But I'm nitpicking.
Yes. I like the scene in the extended bill where J. Jonah Jameson puts on the Spider-Man suit and jumps up on his desk.
That was funny. I'm going to go to Rob Daniels. Rob Daniels, number 9. He's
What's
got a great one here, and I'm not surprised to see it on a list. The Crow. And he says, Brandon Lee's breakout performance unfortunately is last. The movie has a wonderful atmosphere with a great character, The Crow, that rides the line between comic and tragic.
Yes. Probably could have been better if Brandon Lee had shot the whole thing, but
Yeah,
what we've got there is pretty good anyway.
and certainly better than The Crow, too.
It's got great atmosphere
Yes.
to it. It really creates its own city.
Excellent soundtrack.
Yes, definitely.
So yeah, Rob's got The Crow, too.
Thumbs up, because I'm pretty sure that's my number 9 also.
Do you want to jump to you?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, I just talked about it. I like The Crow. Good film. Thumbs
Yeah.
up. Brandon Lee. Yeah, it's a shame that he had that completely preventable accident,
Yeah.
because it was he had a promising career ahead of him.
He did. The Crow would have
Another
broken
nice,
him wide open no matter what.
relationship, too, in that, between him and the little girl.
Yeah.
I think that's in the best superhero movies. You get to see the characters behind the mask, rather than just doing this
Yeah.
all the crazy shit in spandex they do.
100%. John T. Snow is next with Thor Ragnarok. Speaking of, jumping around and comedy and spandex and stuff, that's Thor Ragnarok right there. But I agree that it's an enjoyable film, and it may turn up again on another list later on.
It's a funny one.
Yeah, it
I like
is.
that New Zealand guy.
Taika Waititi. I don't know if I'm saying his name right, but it's
Right,
close.
that's why. That's why I didn't try. I
And
loved What We Do in the Shadows. That was a great comedy.
that I haven't seen.
It's a vampire movie.
And he directed it, or starred in it, or both?
Yeah, I think he's in it. It's got Jermaine from Flight of the Conchords in it too.
Uh,
I'll look up the trailer sometime.
I will check it out at some point tonight. I'm going to go to my number 9, which is a movie we've already talked about called Unbreakable.
No way.
It's nice to see some of these films recurring.
Yes, it is.
Have we done everybody's number 9?
Let me see. I believe so. Maybe we should get back into an order.
All right, I'm going to start number 8 with Rob Daniels again.
Fantastic.
I believe this is Batman's first appearance on the list, but it's not the one that I expected. He has the Lego Batman movie. He says, this kid's movie takes the best elements of other Batman films, makes fun of them, and creates a great atmosphere, with Will Arnett's portrayal of Batman being a major highlight. Favorite lines: Robin, my name's Richard Grayson, but all the kids at the orphanage call me Dick. Batman, well, children can be cruel. Makes them laugh every time. I guarantee you Batman's showing up again, but I have heard good things about this Lego Batman movie. This is just the latest good thing I've heard.
You said it wasn't one you expected.
Yeah,
it
no.
might be Batman and Robin.
I expected, well, not Batman and Robin, no.
That almost made Harrison's list.
Oh, for God's sakes, the guy really is punking us. Is his list next?
He actually put that in his list. He wanted me to say that he prefers it to Batman Forever.
He does not, and that's not really saying much either way.
He says he can't stand Tommy Lee Jones and Jim Carrey tried to out Jim Carrey each other.
Apparently they didn't get along very well either.
Yeah. Or maybe it was one-sided. I guess Tommy Lee Jones really hated Jim Carrey.
Yeah, that's kind of the way I understand it as well.
If I had to work with some guy jumping around in a green onesie, I don't know how much I'd like him either.
Yeah, no kidding.
I'm a
Rob
serious actor, damn it.
Rob Daniels is
I was
shocked that I
in
haven't seen the
black.
Lego Batman movie, apparently.
What about the Lego Batman movie?
Rob Daniels is shocked that I haven't seen it.
Oh, okay.
Um,
Yeah, that does seem outside.
Shall we go on to Harrison's number 8?
Yes. Okay.
Unless it's Batman Forever.
It's not. Neither of those movies are on the list.
Good. Harrison, I'm scolding you from afar.
His 8 is a Batman movie, though.
Oh,
It's Batman Begins.
I like Batman Begins a lot. I think it's one of the better origin movies.
It's a respectable pick. Yes. I'd say it's my favorite of the Nolan trilogy.
It's mine as well. I know a lot of people go for The Dark Knight, but
Shits its pants on the last act.
yeah, it did, and I like the simplicity of the first one. Oh, Harrison's online. Harrison comments that Batman and Robin is fun.
Man, that poor fucker, he's up really early.
Yes, he is. Yes, he is. And Frank Toms is adding that most of DC's animation movies are great.
Oh, Mask of the Phantasm, right?
I can't comment on that because it may come up later. I will jump ahead to John T. Snow's number 8. And we've talked about this movie, so we won't have to say too much. But he's got The Crow, and he remarks that he loved Brandon Lee.
Sweet.
That brings us to your number 8.
This is also a film that's been discussed. I've got Unbreakable at number 8.
Man, we got a cluster of Unbreakables down at the bottoms of these lists.
Harrison's never heard of it. He said he didn't want to see it because M. Night Shyamalan's involved.
Oh, come on. Come on.
He says nothing that Shyamalan's ever made was any good, including The Sixth Sense.
I don't know how you could possibly say that when so much of The Sixth Sense is now part of pop culture.
He's a contrarian.
Harrison Kopp is a contrarian. We're stating that for the record. I'm going to go to my number 8. With my first Marvel Comics list, or my first Marvel Comics entry, I put Ant-Man at number 8. Love the comedy, love the family story, loved Michael Douglas, love Paul Rudd. So there you go. Ant-Man is my number 8.
It's another case of what could have been. A lot of strife on these superhero movie sets, hasn't there?
There was strife
Edgar
on that
Wright's
one?
supposed to do that.
Did you say there was strife on that one?
Well, Edgar Wright was supposed to direct that movie.
Oh, right. You're right. Yes, I forgot that. Yes, that didn't come to fruition.
You've got to fit the Marvel formula, Edgar.
Yeah.
Simon Pegg cannot be in this movie.
No, you can't just pack it with Simon Pegg and Nick Frost and call it a Marvel movie.
Rated R. That'd be awesome.
Rated R.
The Ant-Man.
So we're done with all the number 8s.
Yes. So is that Harrison 7?
We're going back to Rob Daniels' number 7.
Oh, right. And then Harrison.
And then Harrison. Rob has a movie that I was actually going to watch later on tonight. Avengers Endgame. He says, this film had to be good and hit several great superhero moments. Robert Downey Jr. was made to play Tony Stark, and despite such a large cast, each major character gets their moment. Alan Silvestri's score is also a highlight in this film. I agree that Robert Downey Jr. was made to play Tony Stark. I felt that since the first Iron Man movie, which may or may not come up later on. And I put other Avengers movies here personally that I like better, but I'm not going to say anything bad about Endgame. The time travel stuff is completely bonkers and doesn't really make any kind of logical sense. But
especially the alternate timeline thing, right?
Yes, I think that is more. I think that's less trying to write a plot and more trying to expand the Marvel Universe into future movies.
Well, they broke their own rules at the end when Cap just waited it out.
Yeah. I think they're going to expand upon that in Phase 4 with alternate timelines.
It was a decently entertaining movie that didn't feel nearly as long as its runtime would suggest.
Correct. Oh, Harrison Kopp disagrees. Harrison Kopp disagrees. He disagrees. He says Endgame made a lot of iffy creative choices. I'm assuming by that he means Carol Danvers' new haircut, but I don't know for sure. Why don't you do Harrison's? Harrison's. What's that? Sorry.
Regarding Robert Downey Jr., yes, he was born to play Tony Stark. I'd say he was born to play Julian from Less Than Zero as well.
Oh, you got me there. That's been way too long.
Where he's the coke addict.
Oh, well, that certainly does apply.
With James Spader as his drug dealer.
Ah, yes. Harrison Kopp says that he would have preferred a multiverse story instead of a time travel story. Well, you don't get what you want, Harrison Kopp. Don't you know that song by the Rolling Stones? We're doing your number 7 next, Harrison Kopp. Your number 7. Hit me, Holland.
Let me see. Oh, Avengers 1.
What?
The first Avengers.
Oh, Avengers 1. Avengers 1. Okay. Okay. Good. I like that one, Harrison. I'm giving you a thumbs up this time. You're not as much a contrarian as I thought you were.
Just wait till later.
Oh, great. I'm going to hold off a commentary on Avengers 1 because I'm going to get there later. And I'm going to go to John T. Snow's number 7, which is Wonder Woman. And I liked Wonder Woman. There's stuff about Wonder Woman that I didn't like, but Marvel comic movies are guilty of the same things. Like, I really hate when a character smashes into a stone wall and, like, all the stones break, but the character is just fine. Wonder Woman had a lot of that.
That's an oddly specific criticism.
I know. Harrison Kopp says overrated song. Anyway, what is he talking about? Overrated song. I'm not sure.
I don't know. He's probably just trying to upset the balance
Yeah.
of the universe.
Yes, he is. He's being a contrarian. Let's hear your number 7, Holland.
Okay. My number 7. Darkman, Sam Raimi.
Oh, dude, I forgot about that one. Liam Neeson.
Yes. It's supposed to be Bruce Campbell. The studio told him no. Bruce wasn't a big enough star.
You are 100% correct about that,
Liam Neeson does a great job, though.
but Bruce Campbell technically did play that character when he showed up at the end after he changes his face.
The very end, yeah.
The very end.
Yes, as he rides off into the sunset.
Possibly my
Rocks
favorite
off.
Bruce Campbell cameo of all time.
It's a pretty good one.
It
so
is.
subtle.
Oh, and Harrison clarifies that you can't always get what you want. That's an overrated song. And he's not wrong.
Okay. Can redact that contrarian then.
Okay. Are we on to my number
Yeah, I
7
like
now?
Darkman.
We're on to my number 7 now. Oh, and Rob Daniels adds
Okay.
that Darkman just fell out of his list. So he would have had it at number 12 if he could have. And my number 7 is another movie that has Liam Neeson in it, which is the previously mentioned Batman Begins, with Liam Neeson as Ra's al Ghul.
Fantastic.
I love a good
I love
origin
Fear Gas
story.
in that movie, too.
I really think that Batman
Visual
Begins is
effect.
one of the best origin
Great.
stories. Sorry, we were talking over each other there. You go ahead.
I was loving the fear gas.
Yeah.
The atmosphere it creates when everybody's high on it.
With Cillian Murphy as the Scarecrow. He's great. All right, so now we're back to number 6. And I'm going to do Rob Daniels' number 6.
And we already blew through 7, huh?
We already blew through 7. Rob
Kick-ass.
Daniels has
All right.
a movie that Harrison picked earlier, X2. And he says, this film is head and shoulders above the rest of the X-Men series, except maybe Days of Future Past. The film is exciting, with a great cast, and Hugh Jackman hitting his stride as Wolverine. Now, you know what? I'm going to say something about X2, which is I like it, but I prefer the first one. I just... I don't know why. I don't know why. I think the first X-Men was a little bit more lighthearted, and I prefer the lighthearted side of it. Maybe that's all I got to say.
You're a shiny, happy person, huh?
Essentially, yeah.
Yay.
But that's the second appearance of X2 on this list.
Yep. Not that surprising.
And Harrison Kopp says, funny that he should mention Days of Future Past. Maybe that's foreshadowing.
Maybe.
I think Harrison's next anyway.
Yes, he is. Let's see what he's got.
I bet you, I have a feeling it's Days of Future Past.
Six is Civil War.
Oh, nice one, Harrison. I consider that an Avengers movie, basically. I think of it as Civil War being Avengers 3 and Infinity War being Avengers 4.
Agreed. Oh, and he's Team Tony as well.
Team Tony.
That's on his list.
I'm Team Cap.
I guess you guys can duke it out then.
Well, we probably will be duking it out over other things on this list anyway, so maybe I'll just call it even. John T. Snow, for his number 6, has Black Panther. And I've been thinking about Black Panther a lot today, because I was kind of like trying to decide what I was going to watch. And, I like Black Panther, but I think it's a little too... I didn't find the end victory very satisfying when he finally defeats Killmonger at the end. I don't know. that end battle scene with the train and the magnetic blah 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 that disables the suits. I don't know. It fell flat for me.
It looked like a PS2 game.
Yeah, a bit too much of the CG. Harrison Kopp is coming in and saying Team Tony, and he also agrees that Civil War is essentially Avengers 3. And now we have Holin's number 6.
My number 6 is first appearance of Batman on my list.
And which Batman is that?
I've got Batman Returns.
That is the Penguin and Catwoman one.
Correct.
Excellent.
I would have put it 89 on the list somewhere, but I wanted to pick only one from each series, so everything would be even out.
Interesting.
I chose that one because, I mean, there's certain things that I don't like about it, probably more so than the original movie. But then there's other things that I really like about it. I think that one's really unique.
Well, we discussed this one, what was it, maybe a year and a half ago when we did the Halloween reviews.
Yes.
And if anybody wants to...
confident.
Yeah. If anybody wants to read a really good analysis of those two Batman movies, go on my site and look up Holin's 2 Batman reviews. They're both excellent. And I have a comment here from... I don't actually know this fellow. Maybe he's one of Harrison's friends. Thor Jensen says he's on Team Teen Titans. Okay, then.
That's my response.
And it's really ironic that Thor shows up at this time, because it's my number 6 next, and my number 6 is Thor Ragnarok.
Watiti again.
I'm going to say one thing about Thor Ragnarok that John T. Snow didn't say, which is Jeff Goldblum.
All right.
I think he's hilarious.
Mr. Frost.
Yeah. I think he's hilarious. I really do. And that brings us back to the very start again. The very start of the list. We're back to the number 5s now. And I'll do Rob's. We are very, very Batman heavy here. Rob's got The Dark Knight as his number 5 with the comment, Heath Ledger's portrayal as the Joker is spot on and makes the Joker menacing. Doesn't take him over the top.
Like it.
Sorry, what's that?
Harrison doesn't like it.
Harrison doesn't like it. Well, Harrison's got to listen.
Heath Ledger.
He's got to listen to this.
Performance.
The film carries the right amount of tension, and despite Christian Bale's choice of Cookie Monster voice, I agree with that. For Batman, this does not pull the movie down at all. A great film on its own that is made better with the DVD supplemental material that fleshes out the characters in a unique way. Having never seen the DVD, I do not know about that stuff, but I appreciate Rob's commentary here. I still go with Batman Begins myself, but there's no denying the impact that Heath Ledger had as the Joker.
Nabbed an Oscar.
Oh, and Thor comments that he's the guy in the comment section who thinks that A Matter of Life and Death sucks. He might be the guy...
I was just talking to that guy, actually.
He might be the guy. I think he comments as Thor666. Is that him?
Yes.
Okay, hello, Thor666. Now I know who you are. And Harrison Kopp says that Heath Ledger's Joker is overrated, in his opinion. Nicholson for the win.
As Thor and I were just talking about the radio version of Wicker Man on the Brave New World article.
The radio version.
The U.S. promo version with the extra backing vocals on the chorus.
Of the Wicker Man?
Yeah.
Do I even own that?
Probably not. It's super rare. Only went out to radio stations.
Well, crap. I didn't know that. I guess I should catch up on my own comments.
It's so much better than the one on the album.
Shoot. Well, this is going to now cause me to go on Discogs and spend money at some point. Thor is saying that the Nicholson
that
Joker is the best Joker, and Harrison Kopp says the radio version is 10 times better. Well, cool.
That's
I'm
right.
learning stuff here, and
It's just got an extra melody in the chorus. They didn't put on the final mix because they couldn't do it live.
Wow.
It has Bruce singing two things at once.
Yeah. Well, I guess now I'm going to seek that out. Thanks a lot, guys, for spending my money for me. I think we have Harrison's number 5 next.
Already?
Yeah.
Alright. 89.
Batman 89?
Yes.
Batman 89. Yeah, Jack Nicholson. Yeah, awesome. Prince, yeah. I remember that summer very well. My cousin was all of a sudden obsessed with Prince because of that. Oh, Frank Toms is coming in with a comment here. Mark Hamill is the best Joker. Well, Frank Toms, we're gonna get back to that. We're gonna get back to you on that. There's that's gonna come up again. Where are we now? Sorry, what's that?
About John Peters. Did you ever hear that story about John Peters and
yes,
his
Superman
clashes with Elfman on the first Batman movie?
Oh, no, I don't know those stories.
Because Elfman was an unproven composer at that time.
I guess he'd done Pee-wee.
Yeah, he'd done Pee-wee, he'd done Back to School, he'd done Beetlejuice, and he'd done Scrooged. So he'd done these quirky comedies, and they didn't know if he was right for a dramatic type of thing.
He proved
so John Peters wanted Prince to co-write the score with him, and Elfman told him to stick it.
That's a good story.
Because he figured that if Prince wrote the soundtrack with him, then he'd be a glorified orchestrator, because Prince was such a bigger name than him.
Yeah.
He said he loved Prince. He loved Prince, but he wasn't interested playing second fiddle, I guess. So we walked away from the movie for like a week or something, or maybe a month. He said he was like, God damn, you just gave up the best opportunity of your life. But they called him back, and that's how it
That's a cool story.
It worked out for him. He stuck to his guns. He said he wouldn't recommend doing any of the things that he's done in his career, or a lot of the things that he's done in his career. He's just gotten very lucky. So any future film composers out there, maybe not the best idea to walk off a giant budget superhero movie, because you don't want to ride with Prince.
We got comments here.
It was even crazier when it started off, because they wanted Michael Jackson to write the theme.
Oh.
And then George Michael to write the love songs.
No.
And then Prince to do all the Joker stuff.
No. We got some comments here. Eric Litwiller is saying that Cesar Romero is his favorite Joker. Harrison Kopp says, forget about the Prince. Thor says, Nicholson plus Keaton plus Prince is a win for him. And Rob Daniels says, Elfman's Batman score is awesome.
It is awesome, but I'd say the return score is even better.
There you go. We're going to John T. Snow next, I believe, with Logan. First appearance of Logan on this list, a movie I like a lot. But
Almost made mine.
you know, I go with the first X-Men movie. I love the Wolverine character, though, and I can't fault Logan. I also like that one of my favorite actors is in Logan, Stephen Merchant, who played Caliban. And that's all I have to say about Logan. So why don't we go ahead with your number 5?
My number 5 is Watchmen.
Ah, yes.
Zack Snyder.
Excellent.
I love Rorschach.
Rorschach was excellent. And I liked...
My favorite scene is when he
sorry, go ahead.
discovers the girls on body in the furnace.
Oh, that was
He
intense.
teaches those guys a lesson.
That was intense. Yeah. Yeah. Rorschach, possibly the greatest vigilante character of all time.
I wouldn't argue with you. Great character. And I love when they're doing the Rorschach test on him. Giving
Yeah.
all the cards, and he's seeing all these horrifying things from his past.
Yeah.
It's like, what do you see? A pretty butterfly.
Yeah. Oh, you know what else I loved about the Rorschach performance? When he's in prison, and he says, "You don't understand. I'm not locked in here with you. You're locked in here with me."
you.
That was...
You're locked in here with me.
Yep. Killer line.
Beats the shit out of all the guys on the lunch line.
Yep. Just makes mincemeat out of them. Harrison Kopp also adds that he forgot...
Zack Snyder fit them.
Sorry, go ahead.
I was going to say Zack Snyder really fits the material there, unlike anything that he's done since.
Yeah.
His dark style fits Watchmen.
It really fit. And also his soundtrack selections were excellent, too.
Yes. Good movie.
Harrison
Thumbs
Kopp
up,
wants
Zach,
to
for that
add that he forgot Captain Marvel, but he would have stuck it in around here if he remembered it.
Really?
Apparently so.
Interesting.
I'm going to go with my number 5, which is the second appearance of the Avengers #1. I was talking about this earlier in the day, but I saw the Avengers movies out of order originally. I saw Iron Man,
Oh, dude.
and then I skipped Captain America, skipped Hulk, and went straight to the Avengers. So I had to kind of go back and figure out who Loki was and all these other characters. But I love the first Avengers, and I kind of give it credit for being the movie that really reignited my passion for Marvel. So my number 5 is the Avengers.
Was it fun? It's my favorite of the Avengers films as well.
Cool.
I think it was before they got so streamlined, which is what happened after Age of Ultron, I think.
Yes.
Age of Ultron was kind of a relative failure. Not a horrible movie, but after that it got really, we got to stick to the formula and stick to it well.
Yeah.
Movie by committee type of thing.
Yeah. I agree with you.
The first one's clearly Joss Whedon.
Yeah. I agree with you 100%. We are moving on to number 4. And Rob Daniels with the second appearance of Logan. And he says, a great send-off for Hugh Jackman as Wolverine. He finally got the R rating that they deserved to bring the Wolverine character to full circle. Also, while child characters often spell death for a film, Daphne Keane almost steals the show as Laura. So big ups to Rob Daniels for Logan at number 4.
Shout out to Patrick Stewart, too.
Yes!
We
Oh
mentioned
my
him.
God. Yes.
He was great.
What's Harrison's number 4, Holland?
Let's see. Oh, God.
Oh no.
You're not going to like this.
I already don't. What is it?
It's Dark Knight Rises.
Oh. Okay. What's wrong with that?
Just that it's so high up on the list.
I know a lot of
It's
people who
usually
really
considered
like
the
it.
weakest of the 3.
I've never seen it.
No?
I just know a lot of people who like it. You know, the Tom Hardy fans. It's all the Tom Hardy fans.
There are Tom Hardy fans?
Yeah. Yeah. Quite a few of them, in fact.
He's okay with me. I know a lot of people don't like him also.
Well, you know,
Some
he'll always
people that
be
have heard about Fury Road.
he'll always be Captain Picard's clone to me.
Yes. He hated that movie.
Yes,
He hated doing it
rightfully so.
because he was so anxious.
It was
Oh, fuck, I'm going to ruin the film.
he didn't ruin the film.
It's like, don't worry, Tom. That film ruined itself.
I understand the film ruined him in some ways too. It did a number on his mental health.
Yeah, it was ruined.
Yeah.
It was ruined before it could start.
Yeah.
It's just a shitty Star Trek movie.
It is.
Not because of him.
Not because of him. No. That brings us to Jon Snow, and he has the original Michael Keaton Batman.
Snowblower.
Sorry, what's that?
Snowblower.
Snowblower. Snowblower puts
Just
Batman,
saying
Michael
his name,
Keaton, at number 4. The original Jack Nicholson.
Respect.
We've talked about that a
Respect
few
from me.
times. I don't really have anything else to add about that movie. So why don't we do your number 4?
I went in pretty hard with it.
Yeah.
My number 4. Let's see. I've got Batman Begins here.
No. Man, this list is really Batman heavy.
Well, all of ours, I guess.
Yeah.
I've only had 2.
Just in general, we're seeing so much Batman, which is great, you know.
Yes. Yes, indeed.
Moving on to
So,
me.
Is that 3 now?
No, I still have my number 4, which I put the original Iron Man, which kicked off the Marvel Cinematic Universe.
Yes.
As
They went into that one without a script.
what?
I was reading that. Like, they had moments that they knew that they were going to hit, but almost all the dialogue was improv on set.
No way.
The script wasn't finished when they started shooting.
Wow.
Between Jon Favreau and the rest of the cast would make it up.
Well, you know,
They
Favreau
wrote
is
an
good at
half-draft
that.
and it turned out good.
Yeah. Well, that brings us back to number 3. And Rob Daniels has as his number 3, 1989 Batman. And he says, Tim
Is that the
Burton's
most
style.
frequent so far?
Sorry, what's that?
Is this the most frequent
Yeah,
entry so far? Seems like everybody's at it.
everybody loves it. He says, Tim Burton's style fits perfectly with Batman. The unlikely choice of Michael Keaton as Batman ended up being a perfect fit, although I felt he played a better Bruce Wayne. Jack Nicholson was really the only choice for the Joker at that time until Heath Ledger. This is a comic book come to life, and of course Danny Elfman's now iconic score takes the film to a whole other level. I got nothing to add to that. That was brilliantly stated, Rob.
Yes.
So why don't we
It's a
do?
classic.
We'll do Harrison's number 3 now.
Alright. Age of Ultron.
Really, so high?
That's what I thought.
Age of Ultron has some moments in it that I really like, and you know, like any Marvel movie, it has some good parts, but I found it to be a bit messy.
Yes.
Now, James Spader was excellent. James Spader, dude, what voice acting?
Fucking love James Spader.
Brilliant voice acting. Brilliant.
Well, when you've got James Spader's voice, you can't help it, but
Yeah.
be brilliant.
No, he nailed
'Cause he's
Ultron.
James Spader.
He just nailed it. It wasn't what I expected for Ultron, but he nailed it.
Absolutely.
Um,
I think Robert Downey Jr. got him the movie
yeah,
because they were old friends from back then, less than zero.
that's right.
Grab that
Yeah.
up again.
Were they both considered brat packers?
So Robert Downey, I don't think either of them were.
No?
It's like Downey Jr. was in Weird Science, and then he was in Back to School, but
Yeah.
those weren't really sort of the Brat Pack movies. And then Spader was something completely different.
John T.
Thanks,
Snow
Spader.
says that James Spader is the man.
And if he does a movie, I see it. That's how it is.
Yeah. Okay, so John T. Snow's number 3 is a movie that we've... have we met Superman the movie? Have we done that one yet? Has anybody had that one yet?
Nope.
Superman the movie, 1978. I mentioned Superman 2 earlier on, but he's got the original, which of course, Marlon Brando reading cue cards. But yet, you know what? As a kid, I thought that his performance as Jor-El was fucking mind-blowing.
Well, he's a great actor.
Yeah,
Pull it off.
yeah.
I loved his explanation for the cue cards, though.
What was his explanation?
I saw in some interview sometime he was trying to excuse himself for being such a lazy fuck. He's like, well, I like using cue cards because the real character you wouldn't know what he's going to say. He's grasping what he has to say. So if I don't know my lines, it's like I can look up the cue cards, you know. It's like I'm reaching for the words. I'm like, oh, bullshit.
Uh-huh.
You don't want to memorize your dialogue. You
I
don't want to read Heart of Darkness either.
I remember a story from the Superman DVD where they were discussing how difficult Marlon Brando was on set. And after the cue cards thing, he said, you know, maybe I don't even need to be on camera. And they're like, what do you mean you don't need to be on camera? And he says, well, this guy's an alien, right? So how do we know he doesn't look like a toaster? Fucking Marlon Brando.
That's interesting.
All right,
Interesting, man.
you are next with your number 3.
Am I?
Yes, you are.
Excellent. My number 3 is theatrical cut of Spidey 2.
Ah, yes. Yes, that's my preferred cut as well.
I love the first one. I would have put it on here as well, but the one from every series, so I don't overload it with
Fair.
Rami and other people.
Big shout out for Alfred
Shout out to
Molina as Dr. Octavius.
Yes, and shout out to Defoe in the first one as Green Goblin.
Yeah. Really, you could have put both of those
Yeah.
movies, interchanged them, really.
I think they're just as good as the other, really.
Yeah, yeah, I agree.
Great characters, lots of fun. Sam Raimi's trademark style.
Yep, yep.
It's got passion in it.
And it has James Franco.
So good.
Oh, I like that pick, man. This brings us to me.
Yours, right?
Really funny. Spider-Man, the first one with Willem Dafoe.
That's not his last appearance on these lists.
Yeah. I really like Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man. I realized that technically he was a little bit too old to be playing a high school kid at that time, but did anybody care about that? No. Nobody cared about that. He was perfect as young Spider-Man, young Peter Parker, and the whole origin story with Aunt May and Uncle Ben was done so well. And I had to pick.
Yet either.
I only wanted to pick one Spider-Man movie, and it was between that and Spider-Man 2, and again I went for the origin story. Harrison Kopp says that Spider-Man 2 turned him into an Alfred Molina fan.
Makes sense. It's a great performance.
Yeah.
Both are great films.
So I think we've run through all the number 3s. And now we're on to Rob Daniels' number 2. Which is yet another appearance of Superman 1978. He says, this film lives up to its tagline that you will believe a man can fly. Christopher Reeve's performance as Superman, it was absolutely spot on as he brings a vulnerability to the Man of Steel that has been tried in other films but just not as successful. Gene Hackman's Lex Luthor is both comical and threatening. John Williams' score is iconic and memorable. Everything that Rob Daniels says there is true.
Yes, everything. Great film.
The only thing I'm going to add...
Disingenuous, though.
I only have one thing to add, which is I remember Christopher Reeve at the time was worried that he was too small to play Superman, so he went into his audition wearing a big bulky sweater to make himself look bigger. But I don't think his lack of size mattered whatsoever in that movie at all.
Didn't matter with Keaton either.
No, but Keaton, was he wearing more of like a body armor top than a spandexy top? Refresh my memory.
Right. Yeah, he was wearing like a sort of a pumped up suit.
Yeah.
People were complaining he was too short too.
Yeah, well, tough luck. He was the awesome Batman, so a lot of people complain that Hugh Jackman's too tall to play Wolverine.
All right.
Let's hear Harrison's number 2.
Congratulations. Harrison's number 2 is Days of Future Past.
Nice. Nice. We haven't really discussed that one in a lot of detail. I will say it's one of the few movies that really made time travel work.
Did it?
I think so.
I haven't seen this film, so
Oh.
I wasn't questioning you.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I think so. It combined, you know, the premise is that it combined the new class, or the first class, I should say, X-Men, with the Patrick Stewart X-Men. So it takes place in two
Yes.
time frames, and Wolverine is the common thread between the two time frames. It's neat. It's neat. So I give Harrison full points for Days of Future Past.
10 out of 10.
I'm going to go to John T. Snow, who had Infinity War as his number 2. And I'm not going to comment too much on Infinity War because it may come up again.
Wicked.
That brings us to you.
My number 2.
Yep.
You're gonna love this.
I already do.
It's Willem Dafoe again.
Okay.
My number 2 pick is Martin Scorsese's The Last Temptation of Christ.
What the hell? Okay, so this is not the first time that I've considered Jesus for a superhero. But, come on, man, you're stretching the definitions just a little bit.
He turns water into wine, man. He brings back Lazarus from the dead.
That is the most out-of-the-box pick. Wait, you warned me there was going to be some out-of-the-box stuff, and I didn't see that. Did not see that coming.
As far as Jesus flicks go, it's a pretty good one.
Well, Superman is a Christ
Particularly
analogy.
faithful, but that's not the point.
The whole Superman thing is a Christ analogy.
Yes, and my number 1 pick's a Christ analogy as well, but it's not Superman.
Oh, shit. All right, well, I'm going to go to my number 2.
It's not another Jesus movie.
I'm going to go to my number 2. Yet another appearance for Superman the movie, which means I put the first 2 Superman movies on my list, because I basically consider them one movie. The first one's vastly
Superman
superior,
3,
though.
Richard Pryor?
Yeah.
Yes.
And Rob Daniels is saying great
think
choice
so.
to your
First one's
Last Temptation of Christ. He's saying great choice.
It was between that one and Pasolini's The Gospel According to St. Matthew.
I've never even heard of that one.
It's an Italian film, but every single line of dialogue is straight from Bible.
That's cool.
So
Oh.
it's the most faithful, I would say.
Probably even more so than
'Cause you can't get any more faithful. You
right.
can't get any more faithful to the source than that.
Probably even more faithful than the Mel Gibson one.
Yes.
You know what? This brings us to the last round. We're at the number 1s now.
Drum roll.
I feel like we're here. I'll do There we go. Drum roll. Oh, and we got some comments here. Eric Litwiller is disappointed that nobody had Kick-Ass. And Harrison
Considered that too.
Harrison says that you and he were discussing The Matrix and came to the conclusion that it was a superhero movie, although it didn't make my list. And I'd agree, it's a superhero movie. Yep. But I'm going to go to Rob Daniels, his
Orgasmo
number
almost
1.
made it. Should we
Oh.
do honorable mentions right now then?
Here's another one. Eric Litwiller mentions, I've never heard of Hero at Large with John Ritter. Never heard of it. And I guess I could also say that after we run through the list, I'm going to tell them one of yours that didn't make your list that I liked. But Rob Daniels, number 1, and I give him so much credit for this one, is Batman, Mask of the Phantasm from 1992. In his opinion, the best of the Batman movies. It's an origin story, and it expands on the origin and shows that Bruce could almost give up being Batman given the right circumstances. Kevin Conroy is perfect as Batman, as is Mark Hamill's Joker. We've heard that already tonight. I saw this film in 1992 in the theater, and it has lost nothing over time. The story is great, the voice acting is spot on, and the story twist is earned. All topped with Shirley Walker's score. Makes this a Batman not to be missed. Batman, Mask of the Phantasm, 1992. Rob Daniels' #1 pick.
Excellent.
I have nothing to add to that except for I'm really pleased that Mark Hamill did make this list.
Yeah.
That's 3 Jokers on these lists. 3 Jokers.
Three good ones.
Yeah. Yeah, and none of them were fucking Jared Leto.
Or Joaquin.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Forgot about him. And Frank Toms says that he got to watch Mask of the Phantasm recently at the Apollo, which is a local cinema that shows a lot of retro films. So that's cool, Frank. That's cool to hear, man. Why don't we go with Harrison's #1?
Harrison's #1 is Batman. Batman Returns.
Which was the Penguin one again.
Yes.
Harrison put that at #1.
About it, it's so Batman.
Wow, I can't believe Harrison put that at #1. You guys really think highly of that film.
Yes. Certain bits for me. I think he loves it more unreservedly.
Yeah, well, he did put it higher.
I will say, as far as Phantasm goes, compared to Returns, you can tell that Tim Burton didn't give a rat's ass about the source material. Phantasm did.
That is an interesting point. And I guess they were contemporary with each other, right?
Yes, Returns and Phantasm, I think, might have even come out the same year.
I think you're right. I think they're both 92. Interesting. Well, I love these lists. Continuing a streak at #1 is Batman. John T. Snow, The Dark Knight. And he puts that Heath Ledger ruled in this movie. I think this is just incredible. We've just had 3 #1 Batman movies in a row, and all 3 are different. That's awesome.
Yes. Speaks to the quality of the character.
Which brings us to you.
My #1 pick.
Yep.
Now, here's one I didn't think qualified, or I wouldn't have thought to qualify it as one until I looked it up.
And this is
And I
coming
saw
from the guy who picked The Last Temptation of Christ. So go ahead.
This is more a superhero film than Scorsese's.
Okay.
My number one pick is Paul Verhoeven, RoboCop.
Oh! Great pick! And yeah, that does count. Absolutely.
I absolutely love that movie.
That's a
and
great
I don't think
pick.
it gets the credit it deserves because of the silly title.
And possibly also because of the destructive nature of the second and third films that kind of helped destroy the legacy for a while.
Right, the directors that didn't understand that the original was satire.
Yeah.
Despite it being right in their faces with those commercials.
Yeah. And of course,
some of the more subtle bits.
And of course, they
with
couldn't get
RoboCop
Peter Weller
shooting
back
first
for
and
the
asking
third.
questions later.
Yeah. Excellent
Just such
choice.
a merciless takedown of corporatism and fascism and
Yeah.
police militarization.
Yeah.
And then at the same time, it's hilarious with
Yeah.
Kurtwood Smith.
And the vats of
It's a great
acid.
performance, and then there's a tragedy too.
Yeah.
Because you feel bad for Peter Weller as he's going back through his old home, seeing his family, and he can't remember them.
Yes. Anytime he has trouble with his
It's
memory.
just incredible how it balances tragedy, action, and comedy, and never feels like it tilts too far one way.
And Peter Weller had to do most of that acting, with half of his face covered too.
Yeah. Fantastic.
Harrison
Score too.
Harrison Kopp says, in regarding his Batman pick, it's the perfect Batman film in terms of tone and atmosphere. And Eric Litwiller says that his number one would have been Batman Begins. So make that 4 different Batmans at number 1. And Robert Daniels says that's a great pick, your RoboCop. Nice thinking outside the box.
Yes.
Which brings me to the very last pick. It's the movie I actually watched last night, which is Avengers Infinity War. And I think Avengers Infinity War kind of captured the build-up of the entire MCU perfectly. Better than Endgame did. Infinity War was not as convoluted. It kind of proceeded in a linear fashion, and Josh Brolin was great as Thanos. And not to be underrated, I really like Karen Gillan as Nebula. I think she is fantastic. She is a serious talent, Karen Gillan. So Avengers Infinity War is my number 1.
I remember the hype around that.
Yeah.
It was just a couple of years ago, so it'd be hard to forget, but
Yeah.
people were very excited about that.
I was
I'd say
one
more
of them.
than Endgame, but I've seen the box office returns.
Yeah.
So everybody went really crazy for the Avengers movies, more so than any of the solo ones.
Yes. Yeah. They really figured out a formula there, and more power to them. They put all these properties together into one big film and did something that I found quite enjoyable. For the entire length of the film, I wasn't bored. I think we should mention briefly a film that did not make your list.
Okay.
Trey Parker and Matt Stone. Orgasmo. Forgot that it was a superhero movie. I forgot that, but it is.
Fantastic.
For those who haven't seen Orgasmo, I'm not going to go into too much detail, except to say that it's by the guys from South Park, and it's about a guy who invents, actually Chota Boy invents the Orgasmo Ray, but Orgasmo goes around fighting crime using the Orgasmo Ray that Chota Boy invented. And that's...
he's a Mormon missionary.
He's a Mormon missionary. My favorite...
Trying to raise money for the RLDS church.
The opening scene of that movie, when he knocks on the little old lady's door, and he says, "Hi, I'm here from the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints." And she says, "Oh, the Mormons." And he says, "That's right." And she goes, "Well, you can fuck right off." Fucking love that scene.
Priceless stuff.
Frank Toms is bringing up a movie.
Man. The Phantom, Billy Zane.
No, that's a good pick. Peter Weller. He says Peter Weller, but we didn't mention Buckaroo Banzai.
Buckaroo Banzai, Jeff Goldblum again.
Yeah. Buckaroo Banzai is definitely a cult movie.
Yes, very wacky, zany. I didn't know if it was a superhero movie, though.
Well, he doesn't have superpowers, but he does have extraordinary abilities that most humans don't really possess, like, being a brain surgeon and an excellent adventurer,
And a rock star.
Yes, he was a rock star, too. Yeah, you know what? I'm going to call that a superpower. How many people, not even Doctor Strange, can say that he's a brain surgeon and a rock star?
Does Goldblum play piano in that movie? It seems like a missed opportunity if he doesn't.
I don't think he does, but he should have.
In the band.
Yeah, he should have. Well, Holland, it's been a little over an hour. I did an hour and 15 minutes here.
It's about the length of some of the shortest superhero movies, I guess, right?
Barely.
We could have done a whole commentary.
I very much enjoyed this today. This has actually been the smoothest thing that I've done today. Everything else today was an unmitigated technical disaster. So at least this went well.
So what happened to 2?
What happened to 2?
Yeah.
What do you mean?
when the disaster struck. Because that's when you streamed it with the.
Oh, the 2 p.m. one. I haven't watched the video.
Yes.
I haven't watched the video back yet, but I did get Deke and Aaron on simultaneously, but I could not hear Deke. They could hear each other, but I couldn't hear Deke.
Interesting.
Yeah, so I have to play back the video and see how it sounds. You'll see that
What were
tomorrow.
you guys talking about?
We were just really, it was more of just a test. So I just had Aaron come on and talk a little bit about his site Keeps Me Alive a little bit. But I cut it short after about 10 minutes because I couldn't hear Deke and it was starting to bug me. But we did get a little bit of a show there that I'll edit together and upload tomorrow.
Fantastic.
But as for now, I got some dinner to go eat. We got burgers and fries tonight.
Awesome. Any comments that were left unanswered?
No, that's it. We have no more comments left unanswered. So I am going to go eat some dinner, and I want to thank you for being on the show tonight. And we'll do this again another time with a different list.
Absolutely.
All right, man. Well, you take care. You have a wonderful night.
Have a nice burger.
I will. All right. Thank you, Holland McGroin. Ciao.
Bye.
Bye. All right. Now, how the hell do I? There we go. And push this, and there we go. Well, thank you so much for watching tonight, you people. Thank you, Rob. Thank you, Harrison. Thank you, Holland. Thank you, John T. Snow, for your awesome lists. This was a lot of fun. I'm going to go eat some hamburgers. Take care.